Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepared for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepared for it, man, y'all get it. My QB got swag, my wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
It's
Here
a
comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, King Dick here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast, and welcome to 3-0. This is what 3-0 is like. Joey Shakes, what is happening, my man? How are you doing?
I'm feeling really good, man. 3-0. 3-0 is all that matters at the end of the day, and we definitely have a lot to discuss. So
We have a ton to discuss. There's so much went off in this game and leading up to this game. It's been crazy. Jerry, what's going on? Yeah, do the right intro. I did. Always chilling. Donnie, Little G, Punjab, Logan. What is going on? Optimus Prime, Henry Butts, Cameron Holmes, Craig, Clark, Cameron, Chris, everybody that's in here. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it so much. Eagles are 3-0, and we had a score. Did you know, and did people tell you this, but that final score has never happened in the history of the NFL.
really,
25-11 has never happened. That's the first time ever that score has come out the way it has come out. Pretty crazy, right?
never knew that.
Never knew that. And, you know, before we get into the Eagles game, just a little wrap-up of the NFC East. The Giants lose on Thursday. The Washington, who we talked about wanting to see what they really were about, gets destroyed by Buffalo. And then Dallas with the ultimate choke job in September. They're the gift that keeps giving. And then the Eagles have a chance to go in and go to 3-0 and be undefeated and in sole first place. And that's what we did tonight, Joey.
I think just the NFC East in general. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect the Cards to do what they did against the Cowboys. Like, I think we kind of knew, we kind of saw how even if the Cards played well in the first half, I figured that maybe it was going to be the downfall of giving the game back to the Cowboys, but that didn't happen. We knew the Giants were bad, and the Washington Commanders. I mean, Sam Howell got tested. He almost got sacked. I think got sacked 10 times and threw 4 picks. Just looked very uncomfortable with pressure in his face. But I don't think it defines Washington as who they are. I think even going into, obviously we'll go into next week, later this week, but I think it's going to be a big matchup in Philadelphia. It's going to be a dogfight come next week. But this game in general, though, I felt like this was the best game they played on both sides. There's still things to figure out. I agree. But I think this is the best, and I wouldn't say the most complete game, but I think the most complete game up to date. This was the best game they played on both sides of the ball.
I was getting kind of nervous there for a second because the live chat said 666, and that was starting to freak me out. I was about to shut everything out, reset it, but it went up. Thank God, because I don't like that. Yeah, I thought this was the Eagles' best game by far too, especially offensively. I thought they moved the ball from the 20 to 20 very, very well. The red zone, they hurt themselves, they killed themselves. And truthfully, they should have destroyed this team. They should have destroyed them. But, we always talk about it. You want to get better each week, and you don't want to peak too early. This team isn't even close to peaking, and yet we're 3-0,
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It really is. Jordan, thank you for the super chat. He goes 3-0. Fire. We're getting there collectively. Defense played lights out. So where should we start? You want to start offense, defense, special teams? Because we're going to talk about special teams in a good frigging way.
Well, let's get it out of the way. Let's do special teams now. Screw it. We'll get to the good stuff later.
Okay, cool. So crash test Covey looked like Devin Hester. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I thought that was the best I've ever seen him look. Ever.
Yeah, he had I think on all the returns, that big one he had, I think all the returns, I think the blocking was great. I thought he had enough time to catch the ball and had a lot of space. I thought the blocking was excellent. Like I felt like it was great and he just looked good. I mean,
but he actually hit the hole. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, he didn't find where the other team was and then just jump at them. He like hit the hole. Before we continue that, I did a poll about the Jalen Hurts grade. I just want to get it out here before I lose it. 60% of the 431 votes said that Jalen Hurts had a grade of a B, 25% C, 11% said A, and 1% D or F. So that was what people thought Hurts did tonight. Okay. We'll talk more about that in a second, but I'm going to lose. It's going to scroll up, and I'm going to lose where I'm at. So I thought Covey was really good. And you know what? He had that 52-yard punt return. He had another good one. But there was one, I think, I want to say it was after the safety, where they caught the ball at the 2-yard line, and he turns around, and he was able to bring the ball back to like the 20, 25. But it was such a great return to get even there after the guy, I don't know who the punter is, but my God, the guy can punt. And I thought Kobe did a great job.
Yeah, he was feeling himself a little bit when he caught that ball at the 2. He was like, you know what? I'm going to take this. Instead of letting it go out of let go in the end zone. I'll take it. I guess he just figured, hopefully that ball doesn't bounce backwards the other way, so we have short field position. But no, I mean, he was getting over fit. I mean, the blocking was good. This is 1 week. Hopefully he could continue. And Devin Allen actually started at kick return, which kick return is not really becoming a big thing now. So it's just good.
No, but he should be there. He give Devin Allen. He was able to return one. Let him keep going, because I think eventually he's going to make his mark too. But very happy with Covey. It's not I call him Covey, but it's Covey. So
Covey
tonight, the crash. There was one play. Usually I go every time they punt. I go crash test time, and I do this, and I didn't even do it. I said I forgot the crash test part. So I was very happy with him. Tonight, and special teams in general. I thought they had a great game, and I want to make sure that we acknowledge that.
Oh yeah,
there's so many guys I thought in this game to acknowledge who stepped up tonight. I do, and I know we'll probably miss somebody, but trying to remember who we can. Jameson Smith, thank you for super chat. He goes, let's not forget the unsung hero, Covey. There you go. Please forgive me for my Covey slander. No need for forgiveness. Reverend Bebop says Eagles win 3-0, still work to do. Let's go. And check this out, dude. Reverend Bebop sent me this box.
Oh, that's sick.
Is that not cool?
Cigar box?
And in it.
Oh, no shit.
Loaded with cigars.
Oh, damn.
We are smoking one of these. Taste of Reverend Bebop tonight. Pause. But yeah, it'll be fun. So special teams was really, really good. I thought. I thought that was the best game. And then the defense, man, I got to say, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter just continue to destroy people, dude. They were absolutely fantastic. Both of them, again, tonight, Joey. They were great.
Even Fletcher Cox. I mean, even when you saw that play, even Jalen Carter had the forced fumble. I mean, today as well, even getting a sack. I mean, getting pressure on Baker Mayfield, we knew that we had to get pressure on him. It was going to take him out of his game, and some of his throws were effective. Some of them, he had some overthrows, he had some under throws today. But I remember the play with. It's so crazy because Jalen Carter's getting double teamed. Fletcher Cox has the single block, and Jalen Carter still gets to Baker Mayfield before Fletcher Cox does. It's absolutely insane with these DTs. Jordan Davis against the run he touches somebody. He isn't going nowhere. I mean, Davis got those meat hooks
on the safety, right? Like even on the safety, Mora was able to get by because two guys were getting pushed back and collapsing by Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is a legit beast, dude. And then Jalen Carter, I love about these defensive tackles is right after the half sack, he comes back and he gets the fumble. He knocks the fumble off the White, the running back. That was similar, very much like what Jordan Davis did versus Ezekiel Elliott week 1. I like that these guys don't give up on the play. They keep playing. They keep going right at them,
I'm actually pretty surprised they actually ran the ball. The Bucs actually ran the ball. I thought they would do like a short pass or so. I'm actually kind of shocked they they did that, but
you were talking on the safety. Yeah,
the safety, yeah. I'm kind of shocked they did run there.
I
man.
thought they were in trouble if they tried to run the ball. You can't run up the middle on Jordan Davis. You just can't. I mean, there's times where the guys look like they're going to get 3-4 like yards, and all of a sudden they just stop running.
Yeah,
it's like they run into a wall, and it's just Jordan Davis. God, he's such a beast. These defensive tackles are going to just imagine when they become, good enough where they've seen everything. They know how to use their hands. They know all the ins and outs and the little things. They're going to dominate. They're going to dominate. Green Blaze the Fly Eagle, thank you for the super chat. He goes, "Hey Philly, hey Joey, I'm buying a DeAndre Swift Swift jersey. Offense was okay, but it's coming along. Run game is our greatest strength. Jalen Carr is a beast." Yeah. Listen, I want a DeAndre Swift jersey too, but I just they got to sign him. They got to sign him first. Random Dave for super chat goes, start getting our running backs first for linebackers on passes. That will come in. We're going to talk about the offense in a little bit. T.L. Hopkins, Dave for super chat. He goes, Job is not ready but learning. Welcome back, Reed. Yeah, I thought Reed Blankenship was another. I mean, I think having Reed Blankenship made such a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good back there.
Yeah, he had a missed tackle today, but other than that, he had that pick today, which was great. I think he jumped that route. I think he totally jumped it like crazy.
Yeah.
He played really well.
He had a tackle for a loss too, I believe.
Yeah, I think the secondary was pretty good. I mean, look, they had to move some pieces around. I think they had Bradbury on the inside for a while. They moved him back out. They took Job out. Then he started using Sidney Brown, which he made some a potential big catch for Mike Evans in the first half.
Touchdown. He saved the touchdown. I thought Sidney Brown needs more reps, man. He needs to play. I thought Blankenship was good. I thought Brown was good. I thought Zach Cunningham was tremendous.
Yes.
I thought he was all over the place. Yeah. I thought he was and Nicholas Morrow too. I mean, Morrow on that safety was a great play by Nicholas Morrow. There's two things that I don't like on defense out of this game.
Yeah.
One of them I still don't like when you have, especially like Job or Slay, 8 yards back on a 3rd and 3. I mean, these quarterbacks want to get rid of the ball like that. It's like 1-2 go, 1-2 go. And if you give that much cushion, then it makes their job really easy for them. I want to see more press, more bump and run on these 3rd and short situations. Hold up, give your defensive line a chance to get there just a little longer. The second thing that bothers me, and it bothered me last year, is how come every time we seem to break it open, that the very next drive teams go down and get points? Like, that absolutely drives me nuts. It's not like 2 drives later or 3 drives. It's like always the very next drive, they just go down and score. It's like we take our foot off the gas, and I hate when they do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I feel like there's opportunities that are definitely missed in this game. Like I feel like when they have a good drive, and I think they got a little cute at times defensively when there's too much pressure. There's way too much cushion, man. Way too much. Like, look, I mean, the Bucs defense had to do the same thing to us. All the underneath stuff was wide open. I mean, we were going upfield pretty easily, I got to say.
Yeah.
But defensively, I think that's definitely one of the biggest problems. Still, there's way too much cushion on those 3rd and shorts, and it's not enough press. Slay is off the ball way too much. What is Job going to do? And then the defense gets tired, and they're hanging on people. We had some, a PI call. So,
yeah,
it gets kind of crazy.
It does. Bob, thank you for super chat. Loving the impact of an explosive impact back like Swift behind this offensive line. Joey looking jacked. Definitely pulling many weights and wise. Joey's all jacked up, man. Joey's been lifting, working out.
I used to be.
Yes. Reverend Bebop, man. Thank you for super chat. He goes, Joey, I got something in the works for you too. Need a place to send it though. Do you have a PO, or am I the best sander of wood? F. Mark Holmes. You are the best sander of wood.
That looks really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have one, but I have a place you could send it. I don't know if you have Twitter or whatnot, but I'll put my email in and definitely email me and I'll give you the info. But I appreciate it so much, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Some other guys. I want to make sure that I mention Nolan Smith. It was good to see Nolan Smith on the field, and he literally sent Baker Mayfield into next week. He destroyed Baker Mayfield. It was really great to see, dude. I totally enjoyed that. So I mean, I don't want to miss on it, but I just think there's a lot of unsung heroes tonight. A lot of guys that really stepped up. And then when you look at the offensive side of the ball, I think we looked so much better than we did week 1 and week 2. I thought we looked a lot better, especially between the 20s. I just think they got to tighten up that red zone. They threw an interception. The first interception Hurts threw, I really think that was just not having, a lot of reps with DeAndre Swift. Swift went inside. I think he thought he was going to go the other way. I think it was just a miscommunication. The second interception was like a punt. If he probably throws that a little earlier and a little better, it's probably a touchdown. But I thought the defensive back made a great play, but you got a safety out of it. So no harm, no foul as far as I was concerned. Red zone offense needs work, man.
Yeah, I feel like they did like the fake tush push. They try to get cute with that play a little bit, which they didn't really have to do that. I think there were even like not even just red zone. I think some of the like the 4th and 2 we had in the first, like the 4th and 2 that we had, and like they took Swift out when he was on a roll. They put Gainwell in for one play. I think if you have Swift in there, you get that. I think you get that. You might not. Who knows?
Here's
but
what
I think you have more of a chance.
Here's what I said during my game. If Gainwell gets 5 yards, Swift would have got 15. If Gainwell gets 20 yards, Swift would have got 50 yards. Like the difference in talent and explosiveness is just it's beyond obvious at this point. It's beyond obvious. DeAndre Swift is an absolute monster, and he's playing against the best offensive line, or with the best offensive line. He leads the league in rushing right now.
How many yards do he have today? 130?
127, 128, something like that. And I didn't mind. Okay, the last drive that they took, they killed the whole clock 9 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But I thought before that happened, you needed to get in the field goal range. I was like, you just need 3 out of this drive. Swift didn't see the field the rest of the game. Now, I thought they should have used them, but they didn't, and they got in the field goal range, no harm, no foul. But the second quarter, there was 4 series in which they didn't use them. And I don't understand it. I mean, I know you want to rotate guys in, but man, like sometimes you just got to let the guy run, let him go. In my opinion.
It's tough. It's tough because like how many times in the chat where they're like everybody's like, why isn't Swift in? It's like it's hard watching these other running backs. Like after watching Swift, the way he plays and how fast and explosive he is, it's really hard to watch another running back in that position because they're just not as they don't have. It's hard to find a player like that. That's why like. It's going to be really interesting at 24 years old with DeAndre Swift. It's going to be really interesting. I know the Eagles don't pay running backs, but there's got to be some way they can keep him in Philadelphia. Like they got to keep him. Like you're going down to after this season just having Kenneth Gainwell in your backfield. Said Penny's gone. Boston Scott's on a 1-year deal. I mean, you're down to literally nobody besides him.
Well, just think we haven't even seen the half of what Swift could do, because half of what Swift does is in the passing game. We haven't even used them there yet. Haven't.
True.
And I really thought that, like when they kept blitzing, because Bowles is going to blitz. Like there were a couple times, like I'm like, why don't they run why don't they run a running back screen pass right now? Like if you ran a screen, there's 30 yards of space. And so there are things that they got to fix. But overall, I thought the offense was much better. I thought DeAndre Swift, I just think that he gives this whole offense I don't know. I think he takes this offense to another level, not just even in the passing game, but in the run. I think he's a better running back than Miles Sanders.
He's just yeah. I mean, once we trade for Swift, I said we're going to forget about Miles Sanders. I don't think he's having a fantastic
Who the hell's
year.
Miles Sanders? Never heard of him. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, look at going forward, even with the wide receivers too. With AJ Brown having, I forgot he had 131 yards on 9 touches today, and Zacchaeus, we finally got our wide receiver 3 involved today, bro.
We're going to talk about those receivers. Absolutely. Yeah. Shane Davis Super Chat. He goes, keep it a buck. Slay is cooked. Looks old out there for real. Ricks should be starting. Job ain't it. Hurts turning the ball over too much. Carter's the real deal. Yeah, definitely too many turnovers for Hurts. But, I'm not willing to say Slay is cooked. What did Evans wind up doing tonight?
12 yards in the first half. Really?
I mean, Slay did all right. I mean, there were a couple plays. He could have had an interception, really.
He gave up that touchdown to Mike Evans in the second half. So he was only 12 yards in the first half. Then when they got on offense, they started to get him involved. It was like 3 big plays for first downs. Then they threw that short past him, and Slay was right there. He had his hand there, but I don't think Slay's cooked, man. They don't use these corners aggressive.
I don't think they use them the right way. I really don't. I think a guy like Slay, what gets a guy like Slay up for a game like, man, I'm going up against the best number 1 wide receiver. I think about that week 2 with Jefferson. Like that was so big for him to shadow Jefferson. And then to come back this year and then week 2, you played in Minnesota and he doesn't shadow him, and I'm not saying Jefferson wouldn't have a big game or anything, but I think you got to use these guys better, differently.
That's what they did that with Slay last year. I felt like as a joint effort with everybody, if they were moving Godwin around from the slot to the outside, they were moving guys all over the place. They were using different, at least they were switching guys out. They were moving, Goodrich wasn't activated today. They wanted to keep some extra outside corners today. So they figured, let's put Sidney Brown in there. Let's move some, Sidney Brown is just very athletic, you know what I mean? And had a saving touchdown today on Mike Evans, got his hand in there, could literally run from one side of the field to the other and save a play at an instance. But like I said, I think that's definitely one of the things I don't like about the size defense is the way he's using these corners, somewhat as how they, Gannon used them last year. But I feel we are blitzing more though. We are getting after it more. That's what matters.
I think next week you better blitz a lot. I want to see you with how you got to confuse him. You got to try to bring misdirection, make him not know where their blitzes are coming from, because there's going to be opportunities for that young kid to turn the ball over. JJ, a member for 38 months, he goes, why hasn't Mark Holmes compared Mazi Smith to Jordan Davis lately?
What has he done?
He could. Mazi Smith?
Yeah.
I think he has 1 assisted tackle all year. He's done nothing, dude. He absolutely stinks. Rashad Davis Super Chat goes, we got Sue and Warren Sapp at defensive tackle with Davis and Carter. Man, it sure feels like it, don't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Jordan Davis is really good, man.
So good.
41-33. Thank you for Super Chat. Goes, guys, like the stream. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Trying to catch up to the chat here, guys. Marco Lucio, David Super Chat goes, Swift #1. Sign my guy. Agent Zero, the truth. Miles who? I'll tell you what, as soon as I see the Eagles sign Swift, I will buy a Swift jersey.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question. T.L. Hopkins, thank you for Super Chat. Roses are red, violets are blue. Sorry to Covey and Joey should be too.
What about him? I'm not the only one.
I'm not. I need to see a couple weeks. Lion, David Super Chat. Oh my God, Joey, you're so jacked. Jalen Carter is the man.
Hell yeah.
Carter is the man. That 1 4th and 2 play where they give it to Gainwell pissed me off, dude. I don't understand though. We don't even rotate Penny in at all. Penny is non-existent.
Is he more reserved?
I just don't understand why he didn't even get a carry. On that 4th and 2, you give it to Gainwell. Why don't you put Penny there and give it to him? If you're going to do it there, Kavai Jones, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, love you guys. Crash Man, Covey, the GOAT, and Carter. Yeah, Covey. Apparently Jalen Hurts had the flu.
Yeah, I found that out.
The flu going into it. So he wasn't even feeling good. He wasn't feeling good at all. And AJ Brown. Shout out to AJ Brown. All the talk about AJ Brown and this, and I can't believe the amount of people in my stream. They're like, I would like to get rid of AJ Brown. I'm like, what? Because of what happened on the sideline? I really think it's a big bowl of nothing. And I thought AJ Brown had a great game. I kind of felt everybody kind of thought he was going to have a big game. He did drop 2 touchdowns though. Should have had 2.
I think one was a little too. I think the one was too high.
It was a little high, but you got to come up. That second one he has to catch though.
Yeah.
But I thought AJ Brown was great. Devontae it was a little quiet for Devontae. They had that one big play opportunity, was an interception. He was open there. But, both these guys are not going to have 8 catches every week together, So I'm okay with it. I was glad that AJ got off and had a good game. And then talking about Oz, let's talk about Zacchaeus. Because,
God.
Quez Watkins is now your 4th wide receiver. To me, Oz has won the 3rd receiving job. It's not even close, dude. Yeah,
I mean, I'm. It's not like I'm upset over Quez, or like injuries are injuries. We have like no control over it. But I think the one thing with Oz I definitely noticed during the game was his blocking is very good. He's very good at blocking, and he had over 500 yards last year with the Falcons and 2 touchdowns. He's a pure slot guy, and Jalen Hurts almost got. The protection was so good on that play, and I'm glad that he didn't just go outside the pocket, start running, and kind of free. He stayed so patient, and right when he was about to get hit, he threw it to where maybe Zacchaeus was going to go in that direction and scored that. It was great.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play. And he stuck in the pocket, man. Got to give Hurts credit on that. East Coast Gridiron, what's going on, man? How are you? He goes, it's so funny how when I said Cowboys reach with Mozzie Smith, I got laughed out of the room by Cowboy fans, I'm sure. I watched about 7 Michigan games last year, and I didn't see him do squat. Bench pressing doesn't make you good. That is so true. We have been fighting them. God, I think all last week they were saying Mozzie Smith is better than Jalen Carter. It was Jordan Davis, and then somehow it became Jalen Carter. It's like, I think they're crazy. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are monsters, dude. They really are. I'm really happy with the development from year 1 to year 2 with Jordan Davis. I just think he's making such an impact, man.
Totally.
You can't run on them. Eagles Army down under. You're gonna have to run outside. You really do. You have to run outside away from them. Eagles Army down under. David Super J goes, "What's up, Philly and Shakes? I take 2 turnovers by a miscommunication and a great defensive play, then a game-ending throw into triple coverage." I know, right?
Well, Philly, like realistically,
Exactly.
I can't blame the 2 picks on Hurts. Like I think you said earlier, like the one with DeAndre Swift, I think was just on both of them, a miscommunication, and that was pretty much it. That's or maybe it was all Swift that just ran the wrong way. I don't know. The second one I think was more of just you throw a contested catch up. It's either anything could happen at that point. So I can't. You know what I mean? Like they took shots. Like they tried. They took shots at times. Like I get it.
I thought the defensive back for Tampa made a great play. It was a great interception. He came across the field and made that play. Maybe Hurts could have thrown it a little more outside, and maybe he could throw it a little earlier. I'm not going to say that's not true, but if Hurts goes out and throwing 2 interceptions every week, of course it's going to be a problem. But it didn't hurt us tonight. Let's put it that way. And I don't believe that that's something that is going to continue weekly. It's Nova. David Super Chat goes, just here to say EAGLES. Love the channel. Keep it up. Thank you, man, so much. We appreciate it. We got 1,375 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're on my channel, click the link in the description. Go sub up my man, Joey Shakes.
Shit.
Joe says Swift is the best Eagles running back since Shady. This O-line is so dominant. They had 2 drives of 13 plays or more, 460 plus offensive yards. Defense dominated 2. Great road win. Great road win. They told us all week that the Eagles could not run on them. I think I was getting into it through the chat with Cilio a little bit. He was saying, "Who you think Kelsey's going to stop Vita Vea?" I said, "I'll take my Hall of Fame center any day of the week." You didn't see Vea at all. You didn't even hear his name. The Eagles' offensive line dominated the the Buccaneers defensive line.
Dickerson did get hurt with I think a bruise on his knee. I think that was it. So
they said in the game it was a shoulder injury, but then people were saying it was a bruised or it was a knee contusion.
Right.
It didn't sound serious with that.
He was walking in the tunnel. He looked fine to me.
Yeah.
So.
Eagles Nation, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, the Eagles is resting Swift to make sure he stay healthy. Listen, I have no problem with that. At the end of the game, they got the field goal, they got the drive. That's what matters. But I don't like when you see 4 consecutive drives in the second quarter, and he's not in there. I think I'd like to see them mix it up a little bit better than that.
Yeah, or if you're on a short yardage play, like I think Gainwell's the last player you want to use on that.
Yeah.
And the 4th and 2 bothered the crap out of me because it resulted in it resulted in no points on that drive. So it's
no, and I think they're not utilizing Penny right, dude. I think Penny can play, man.
There's no utilizing anything because
right?
What is he doing? Like what are they doing with
They
him?
don't even give him a chance. They're not even giving him a chance. Brody, David Super Chat goes, this game should have been 39-11. We had 500 yards. Yeah, I mean, dude, there was too many trips to the red zone where we did not score touchdowns. We did not. We've got to clean that up. You got to clean that up. This is Philly, not Dallas. We're supposed to score touchdowns in the red zone. McLanty, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, y'all think we should put Greg Ward in for the red zone? Nah, I don't think. I just think better. I think better play calls and better.
They should run the football. They should run the damn football.
But you had the one play, like you had the one interception, then you had the one play where it would have been 2nd and 7, and it being done, it was 3rd and 7, and it wound up being 2nd and 15. Like those penalties destroy drives. Did it seem like to you that they kept spotting the ball bad? Like,
yeah,
to me,
it was bad.
Like why is he a yard short of where the ball should be? It was really bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen them go to replay to see if the runner or the receiver got out of bounds on that.
Oh, the AJ Brown one? Yeah, that was a waste of time.
I've never seen that. It was
we got 2 seconds. We got 3 seconds back. Whoa. Like that, they made a huge deal out of that. I guess 3 seconds is a big deal, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Craig Joseph, thank you for Super Chat, goes, is it me or is Jalen Carter even more disruptive than Parsons? Watch out. You're going to have Cowboy fans losing their mind. This kid is a monster. He is most definitely a superstar in the making. Yeah, absolute superstar. He is a superstar, man.
The Cardinals ran at him. The Cardinals ran at him. I don't know how many times last week. They ran at him. They didn't run away from him.
That's what you do. I mean, he obviously Gannon did what worked for us last year, and that's exactly what we're going to do to Parsons when we play him. That's how you stop Parsons. You run at him. When he comes out, throw. It's it. It's Nova. David Super Chat goes, how about Jalen Carter's forced fumble? EAGLES Eagles. What was great about the forced fumble was as the running back tried to get up, he hit him again.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
He hit him again. Like, stay down, bitch. I love it.
It was great. Great.
He's got a little bit of a mean streak I like. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
Man. Yeah, it is great. The offensive line, defensive line dominated. I think obviously, we know that's our strength. I think we got to clean things up, right? We got to clean the red zone. I think the turnovers. I think some of the play call has to be better. I think they try to get too cute sometimes that you don't need to be like for the fake push tush, right? Troy Aikman said it, and he was right. You didn't need to do that. Like, you could have saved that for a week instead of showing teams that you have that in the bag. You should have saved that for another time. Like that 4th and 2, I thought they got too cute. What were they thinking? Let's do 4th and 2 and run Gainwell because the last person they think will get the ball is Gainwell. Is that what they were thinking? Like, I think they get a little too cute. I did think it was much better, though. Much better this week.
I think it was a lot better. Yeah, I think it was a lot better. Offensively.
And I expect it to be better next week. Now, next week, you got a great defensive line you're going up again. It's that Washington game is going to be so interesting. It's an interesting game. It's one of those teams that it doesn't matter what the records are. it just seems like they're going to play us tough and they're going to play us tight at home. You know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that Washington loss was so frustrating last year when Quez fumbled and the stupid roughie the passer. Got to make up for it Sunday. Agreed. I agree. You know? DB Talking says, no, not excusing him for the picks, but even the touchdown to Oz was frustrating because it seemed like he was still struggling to find the time in the pocket. Yeah, what did you think about the touchdown pass to Oz? I thought Oz needs to make that catch. The ball hit off his helmet. I thought he needed to make that catch. He didn't even get his hands up. You know, gotta get your hands.
He was covered, but I think he's patient enough to even the Oz touchdown in general. Like nothing was open on that play the whole entire time. Like he just waited and was patient. And yeah, the missed touchdown the back of the end zone. Like I don't know. Maybe the ball placement has to be higher. Maybe it just can't be to the chest when you're in the back of the end zone. It's got to be a high pass so he can put his hands up and go up and get it. So I don't know. I think it can go both ways to where it's either a bad play or it could be a play where you just have to place the ball better, I guess, maybe. But
yeah. Concerned Cafe says Jordan Davis was the best player on the field tonight. He was tremendous, man. Jordan Davis is and you know, it's not just what he does on the field with the run and stuff, but like he takes up space. You need two guys to block him, and he really frees up things for the other guys. He does. He frees things up for those guys. Jordan Davis is everything that I could have wished he was going to be and hoped for. You know,
did you think he was going to be somewhat of a better pass? Do you think his pass rush was going to be this insane this year? No, probably not.
I didn't think his pass rush was going to be as good as it's been. I didn't think he was going to be there yet. But, you know, he's much better pass rusher than I thought. So to me, it's all gravy. Philadelphia Underdogs, what's up, man? He goes 500. I can also add something to think about. To opposing defenses, maybe it will help out the tush push next week. They might think that's true. If they have to think about the fact that it may be a fake, may actually help you. Yeah, I could see that. That's what I use. That's exactly what I used to complain back under Doug when we would go like 4 or 5 games without throwing over 20 yards. And I'd be like, you take a shot. Just keep defense honest. So yeah, you might be right about that. Something to think about. Bald Eagle David Super Chat, man. He goes, I saw a huge turnout at an away game. 65% to 35% Eagles fans. Wow. We hold it down everywhere we go. Go Birds. That's awesome, man. Shout out to you. Was it really hot out there tonight? It was like probably like some people were saying it was like 100%, 100 degrees or something. I don't know what the temperature.
I got worried when the rain was coming down a little bit. I was like, oh, no. It was on and off.
Again. Yeah. Joseph Dees, David Super Chat goes, just got back from the game. The play calling was better. Yeah, it was better. The one thing is I don't like playing in Florida, like in early September or even October. Like especially September during the day. Like play in Florida, that's fine. But I'd rather it be a late game like this than like in the middle of the day. I always think that's an advantage for them. Playing in that humidity. Life of Toast, David Super Chat goes, Swift is a bad mother humper. Man, that should be the title of my video of my video tonight. Bad mother humper. I think I might do that. It'll be Eagles victory celebration. Bad mother humper. Because there's like 3 or 4 of the guys I think are bad mother humpers. I mean, Swift, that offensive line. I thought Cam Jurgens played fantastic tonight, Joey. I thought Cam Jurgens was fantastic.
Best game. Totally.
Yeah.
I thought protection. I really didn't have an issue with I didn't have an issue with anybody. I mean, I know Dickerson went out. Opeta came in there, so I mean, it was all right. I didn't really have to worry about any of them, to be honest. I thought protection was good. I thought they opened holes really well for the running back. Swift had that. I think that one. What was that one where he just like that between Dickerson and Kelsey? That thing opened up and. Wow.
Yeah.
When you get these running backs to the second level with this offensive line, anything could happen. I mean, Gainwell almost broke when he got tripped like last second. He almost broke out for one. It's like a second it happens.
When you see it part like the Red Sea, and then you see this you see the flash go through it. When it's Swift, it's like boom, he's gone. David G says Mozzie's stats after 3 games. 1 solo tackle, 0 sacks, 0 pressures. He stinks. And listen, they got him to stop the run, and you couldn't. Here's my thing: if you can't stop Arizona a run game, how are you going to stop the Eagles' run game? I'm just saying, how are you going to stop it?
Yeah, and I think losing Diggs as well. I mean, they're having offensive line issues with keeping Tyron Smith healthy. I know that they're moving guys around. Yeah, I mean those. Even having no Trayvon Diggs, then it's like they got to put in Bland, or it's going to be with some of these other guys. It's just I felt like and this is Hollywood Brown you're talking about. Like, you're not even talking about. It's only Hollywood Brown. It's not even like you're facing some of the better the better receivers later on. Like, it's gonna be tough.
Right. Yep. Skidmark says the Eagles are number 1 against the run and number 1 rushing offense in the NFL after 2 weeks. If you're the number one rushing offense and number 1 against the run, you are going to win a lot of games. Okay, you're going to win a lot of games that way. You just are. I mean, the Eagles haven't even played their best football yet. That's what's so great about this whole thing is, we're stacking W's. The whole division loses, and the way I look at it is by taking advantage of all the losses, you get that L. We can stash that L away for a later day. Like, it's not going to kill us down the road. You get upset. You have a bad week because of what happened. So it's very important. And I think the Washington game this week is really important. I think 4-0 is a big deal. It's way bigger deal than 3-1. It just is.
Oh yeah, it changes. I mean, thank God. I mean, this game's home, but like you said, like it doesn't matter on record. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah. So the Eagles got Washington. I think they got the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have, I think, the Jets, and then Miami and Dallas. I think that's how it's going to go. That Miami game.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're looking at your offense needs to be clicking on all 4 cylinders, because I think you're looking at like a 41-38 type game. I do. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis Super Chat goes, we need to use the screen game more. Still having trouble against the blitz. I agree. I really think a delayed screen to DeAndre Swift on one of those blitzes, there was so much space that the Eagles could have taken advantage of that they did. There was one play where it was like I think it was like a 3rd and 4, and they blitzed, and they brought a lot of guys. And if you would have just ran a delayed draw with Swift, he probably had 30 yards. Now, I think they need to do a little more of that.
Yeah.
David says last year Goddard had more plays where he made catches in the open field. This year he seems to make the catch and instantly get tackled. Just poor play design. Some of it is poor play design. They're also keeping guys back. They don't want the Eagles to throw the ball. So, I mean, that's another great reason why we're running the ball so effectively. I think Goddard will be fine, though.
Yeah, they target. I mean, he got some target. Jack Stahl got a couple targets. I mean, when you see Hurts go back and throw to Goddard immediately, which is great to see that he's open and gets the first down, gets some. It's nice when we got him involved a little bit. It was in the beginning. It was a little. I think Stahl had a drop. I think Devin White kind of got it loose there. We haven't thrown to tight ends that much. We haven't thrown to running backs that much. Hence why that pick. We don't throw. We really don't do it, and we haven't been successful with this year yet. But hopefully soon.
Yep. Kenneth Butler, favorite super chat goes, all issues this team has heal with time. I agree. Let me see here. Illuminati says 500. If that was the number 1 run defense, we might as well keep this formula going. I agree. I don't think. Here's some of the things though. I think part of I thought that the Bucs, their statistics look great after 2 weeks, but they played the Bears, so you don't know how much that is because of the Bears. And they do have a good run defense, but not against this offensive line is too good.
You would have scored 35 to 40 points in this game. I think there's definitely points that were left off the scoreboard. But yeah, I mean, for the past couple, this is the best defense for them. This was the best defense they faced. I mean, like you said, look what they faced the past couple weeks. I don't think they gave up over 20 points those 2 games. I mean, to be honest, Philly, since really the first week of the season, I think we faced some pretty good defensive coordinators the past few weeks. They've faced some good coordinators.
Two really good ones, in Belichick and Bowles, definitely. I agree. And then if you look at the Minnesota game, I mean, you were going up against a high-powered offense. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're all right. Linda says, how about putting another WL in the win count for Hurts? Absolutely. This has got to be a Cowboy fan. Your defense can't hide Hurts forever. Your defense can't hide anybody.
Mm-mm.
Everybody in the chat, remember, it's only week 3, and we don't have to blow our load, show all of our good plays. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you don't want to peak in September. Well, the idea is to play your best football in December. We're getting better each week, and we're stacking wins. I think that's what matters most to me.
True.
Bonzology says, James, it was a miscue on the one, a 50-50 ball on the other. Nothing about the dude. Yeah, you're talking about the interceptions.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the first interception was definitely miscommunication. You worked that out. The second one, to me, it was like, taking a shot. Great gift. Just sometimes you got to tip your cap and say, man, made a great play. That defensive player made a great play. It was like a punt,
Yeah, anything could happen on a contested catch anywhere if you're just throwing it up. Like the Vikings game to Devontae Smith. Like it was an underthrown ball. Like what if Devontae Smith couldn't catch that? What if it was picked off? Like it's you're giving your wide receiver a chance to make a play, and if the other team makes a play, that's why I can't put too much on these 2 picks tonight. I really can't. You're giving your receiver a chance, and you had some miscommunication on the DeAndre Swift one, so I can't really make too much of that.
Pressures do not matter more than sacks. Pressures matter. What are you talking about? That's spoken like a true Dallas Cowboy fan. Don't know what the hell's going on. Jay Green, David Super Chat. He goes, the brother screwed us. He did that. I think the rest were trying to screw us, especially with the spot of the ball and combo. Like Devontae Smith caught a ball, and he actually could have turned up and got the first down, but he went out of bounds. But it was 3rd and 3. I'm like, he was 1 yard short of a first down. How is it 3rd and 3? There was like 3 or 4 times that they literally had horrible spots. Death Row South David Super Chat goes, Jalen Hurts looks uncomfortable with the West Coast offense. It feels the coaches are forcing Jalen to stay in the pocket. I think it's very similar offense to what they've been doing pretty much. I mean, I don't think it's all that different. Maybe they're not running as much.
They had one QB design run today. I think only one. I think they only had one today.
Yeah, and he went down and he slid.
Right. To keep the ball in bounds.
I think it's something you have to do because you have to preserve your quarterback. He got hurt in Chicago last year. He got hurt the year before. You don't want him taking unnecessary hits. I think as the year goes later, as you get to playoff games, I think all that stuff comes in play more. But I think the evolution of somebody in the career, especially these running guys, you look at Randall Cunningham, look at Steve Young, you look at these guys, the guys that have the careers that last long are the guys that develop into better passers as their career goes forward. So I think it's something that you have to do. And I think Jalen Hurts seeing blitzes and seeing certain things is something he has to work through, and he will. He will.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
King of Kings, David Super Chat goes, Joey, what's your opinion on the coaches?
I think with Brian Johnson, I think Desai. Well, I'll start with defensive coordinator. I think Desai played a great game. I think other than what we talked about earlier, I think it's just the soft zone is just it's too much on 3rd and shorts, and they have to fit guys better. They have to be more aggressive and play a little bit more press at times because I feel like that's going to bite us down the road in some games and can cost. I know they don't want to give up the big play. I guess that's what they want to do, but I think it was a good game. I think you have a lot of players that can make plays on this defensive line. If you could just, play press just a little bit, from 5 to 7 yards, these tight ends and wide receivers are open and it's way too much time. Generate that pass rush. You can have an extra, I thought in the Vikings game, they could have had an extra 4 to 5 sacks in that game if they just generated just a little bit more press and you could get that pass rush going. But offensively, I think I think Brian Johnson just needs to get Jalen Hurts into a better rhythm. I think this is the best offensive game we played. There's still things to fix when it comes to, I know they're trying to utilize the running backs better. Utilize Dallas Goedert, get these tight ends involved. I think I think we're slowly, with two new coordinators, and you lose two coordinators, you get two new coordinators in here, and with the offseason that you had with your starters barely playing under a new coordinator, you look sloppy. You look not sloppy. In the beginning, they looked more sloppy, but I think it's just have to get it together a little bit better. That's all. I think it's just going to take time, a couple more weeks. By that Miami game on Sunday night, I'm hoping that we're like in full effect by that time.
That's going to be a crazy night. Because I think Miami, as long as Tua stays healthy, I think they're for real. I want to see them play Buffalo. Somebody said that in my stream earlier. Forgot who said it, but I think they're right. But it's going to be interesting. Reverend Bebop, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, Belichick, Flores, Bowles, all greats. We beat them. Agreed. Yeah, Blankenship is playing well. Chris Kaufman, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, am I the only one who wanted us to turn up the score at the end? No, I wanted them to go back and score another touchdown. I wanted play action on that last drive and go to the end zone. Like, I wanted to rub it up. When they showed Rondé Barber running down the sideline, I started to get pissed off.
Of course they showed that, right?
Yeah, I know they show it. I was like, why are you showing that? Life of Toast, David Super Chat goes, which owners want to make the tush push illegal?
The teams that can't.
The teams that can't do. Well, the funny thing is the teams want to make it legal, and they're like, "Oh, it's unstoppable." But then I watch these other teams try to do it and not have success. I like too. Bust their balls.
I like too a lot. Like even the one they did the tush push, but they were like doing a snap count on it to kind of.
Right.
You draw that, you make them unbalanced. You make them unbalanced, so they're not ready for it, and then you do it at a random time, and then you get the good push that you need. So I like that.
I agree. Freddie, David Super Chat, he goes, Cox and BG have been playing good. Carter is him. Agreed. I agree. What's up with Reddick? I think Reddick Reddick will break out of this. If you look at Reddick's history, he is streaky. There are times where he goes weeks, months, and doesn't do much, and then all of a sudden he has crazy months. That's been like the last 3 years for him. So I think Reddick will be fine. I expect Reddick to get it going. I also think that the way that teams are getting rid of the ball so quick that we talked about and having all that open space, when they start pressing up a little more and holding that quarterback in the pocket a little more, I think Reddick will start to get home. He should have had one sack tonight, got away from him, but I'm not worried about Reddick too much right now. Just based upon his history, he's streaky. He's very streaky. As Stereo Design, David Super Chat goes, some improvements today. Want to see more Sidney Brown and Nolan Smith. But what do I know? They only scored 11 points. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. I mean, we all talking about things they need to improve on. They only allowed 11 points. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they only allowed 11 points. Yeah, well, I always think Reddick's getting held. I mean, I always think so. But
I think he had like a couple pressures today. I know he got some pressures at
time. The guy he had his hands on him. He got away. I really think I just based upon Reddick, like last September, Reddick had only 1.5 sacks the month of September. Then he had 6 sacks the next month, and that's what it's been for him. The last couple years, it's streaky. So I think Reddick will get it going. I don't know if the thumb or that is having any issue. I don't know.
That I don't know.
I think I thought Reddick was going to have 2 sacks tonight. Maybe against Sam Howell and a young quarterback. Maybe that'll be the opportunity. Troy says the Bucs defense wasn't bad either, but the Eagles still got almost 500 yards. I know. The Eagles just, I mean, we're talking about like almost 500 yards, and we're probably playing at 65% of our capabilities, dude.
Yeah.
So, but we were much better than we were a week ago.
True.
Rashad, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, I guarantee Cowgirls, Giants, and Washington fans mad. I know Dallas is scared. I know the Cowboy fans are scared because what they're saying is We can't stop the run against Arizona. How are you going to stop the Eagles' run? That's the truth. Paul Davis Super Chat, he goes, how about our linebacker, F. Tancilio? Thank you for Super Chat, Paul. I thought we talked about it earlier. Cunningham and Morrow, I thought were fantastic tonight. I thought Cunningham was everywhere. And I thought Morrow played really good. Morrow's making a defensive call. So it was good to see him, you know.
Hell yeah.
Anton David Super Chat goes, Cilio tweeted, we are the worst offense in the NFL. How is 3-0, 460 yards of total offense against a good defense worse? Asking for a friend. I think that's just, he's just trying to get you guys all stirred up for the show tomorrow.
And we've talked about this too, like winning in style. Like you have to score 30 plus, 40 plus, or you're not a good team in the league, or you're not a Super Bowl contender if you can't put up points like that every single game. But I didn't expect going into the season that we were going to have that many issues offensively with Brian Johnson, because he was next to Shane Steichen all year last year. So I thought there was going to be some change maybe, but I didn't think it was good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like they could definitely do better. But this is the best, I think, overall best team win we've had. I think when it comes to both sides of the football, I think this is the most complete. I think it's not even close to, like you said, 65-70%. I would say we got up there pretty nicely. I feel like it's almost complete. I feel like it's getting there. We just got to fix a few things. That's all.
It's going to get there. And I hate to be the team when it all starts to, when they start to roll, because somebody's going to get crushed. CW Gearhead, David Super Chat goes, thank God we got Reed Blankenship back. He was missed. And thoughts on Devin Allen getting a shot at kick returns. I love that Devin Allen got shots at kick return. Although he only returned one of those, he's exactly the guy that I just leave out there, because he's got the speed. Eventually, I think he'll break one, and I think he'll be pretty good. What was the other thing? What are the thoughts on kick return? Oh, and Blankenship coming back was huge. I thought Blankenship was great today. Big interception. He totally read Baker Mayfield, and it definitely made a big difference.
It's about how you win these games. We had 3 starters out last week. It definitely took a toll. We had some missed assignments last week. I mean, we made some mistakes defensively. There was some blanket coverages at times, but we find a way to win these games. And look, if your offense is struggling, it is what it is. But if your defense, one has to help the other. Sometimes it has to happen. You know what I mean? I feel like the worst part about this game, besides the little things we're nitpicking, I think the worst part was coming out of the second half where they started, Mike Evans only had 12 yards in the first half, and then they just threw. He had that one-handed catch. He had a couple really good receptions, and that's when they got, and they threw the touchdown to him at the 1-yard line. So, the defense really just gave up that. I think they were playing more conservative at that point. I think they just wanted to run clock down a lot because they did really nothing. That's drive.
What they do. They don't want to give up the big play. Everything underneath. Just let them eat up clock. That's what they do. They do it all the time. It drives me nuts, but they do it.
Right.
Joe says, Philly Joey, do you guys think the Redskins game will be typical NFC East slugfest, or can we blow them out? I believe we could actually blow them out. I think it's typical. I think it's going to be fourth quarter game. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I expect. I mean, Washington has got some good players, man.
You talk about their defensive line. It's so good. I mean, even offensively with Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin, they have good backs, and Robinson is their bruiser, very elusive, and Gibson is their flashy, fast player in the backfield. But what do you think of Sam Howell? He looked the more that Buffalo was hitting him and putting him on his ass, I felt like the more he was he was a little nervous. He was kind of freaked out a little bit.
I look at Sean McDermott. I look at McDermott, and I think, okay, he's come from the Jim Johnson tree. Jim Johnson, I've talked about this several times. He didn't never allow young quarterbacks to have good days against his defense because he would always confuse them. And the Bills confused him. I think he was a little bit shell shocked by what the Bills were doing to him. The Eagles with Jonathan Gannon, we haven't done that. We've allowed young quarterbacks to go out and have big days. So I think the Eagles need to look at that Bills tape, come up with some stuff, try to confuse them. Where I think the Eagles really can dominate Washington is I don't think Washington's offensive line is going to be a match for this defensive line. And I can see Sam Howell making, big mistakes. I mean, what do we have against Wentz last year? Like 11 sacks. I think you could have a big sack game. It could be a big get-right game for guys like Hassan Reddick. I think there'll be opportunities for Howell, to turn over the ball. I think that's where the Eagles have the big advantage. But these games always tend to be tough. They tend to be slugfest,
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth. I expect nothing less. Anton Davis Super Chat goes, Celia tweets like a jealous ex on game days. Weird. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say tomorrow. Paul Feder Davis Super Chat goes, Morrow got the safety. Yeah, Morrow got the safety. He made a great play coming up, and Jordan Davis really took on 2 blocks there that made the space for him. Death Row South Davis Super Chat goes, what a breakout year for Davis so far. Nobody can run up the middle because he's massive. He's a beast, man. And he's much better in the passing game, as a pass rusher than he had been last year. So I really
Crazy.
like where we're at,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Jennifer says, nothing like a good W on Monday night going into my now birthday, since it's Tuesday, East Coast now. My girls would have been pissed with my mood if the Birds lost. Yeah, I know exactly know. And Jennifer, happy birthday to you.
Happy
Hope you
birthday.
Have a great one. Happy birthday. A 500, you and Rio should stream a game. Maybe. Zastinko, David Superchat goes, Job is a liability. Dude look lost out there. He's young. He's got to learn, he's got to learn. Yeah, Davis and Carter couldn't be better. I agree. I agree. I think they're they're very complimentary of each other too. Different styles. It reminds me of the A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, complimentary wide receivers.
Yeah, well, I think Fletcher Cox playing at the level he's playing at right now in this rotation is really helping George. I think it's helping both of them out. Fletch, I didn't expect to have this much of a good season. Like I thought, because he's getting older, he's getting up there. He needs more of a rotation, less than 45% of the snaps or whatever it's going to be. But I think both of them, I mean, they're getting there. They're doing a good job.
Yeah. MG, what's going on with you, MG? Are you having a little freak out because your Dallas Cowboys stink? Come on now, no spamming. Green Blaze,
weird.
The Fly Eagle, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, what about getting Albert going in the passing game? I think you just wanted me to try to say his name. I would like to see them get him. Was he even active today, Joey? Do you know?
Good.
I haven't seen him out there.
No. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with him. I think he's more of a maybe down the road if there are injuries, maybe he's more of a next year type of thing. Maybe you're not keeping 4 tight ends next year. I highly doubt it. It might be a competition between Calcaterra and Albert O, most likely. Who knows? But I'm excited to see because I feel like it was a pretty good trade for a nice depth piece tight end. That's a good player. So we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Paul Feder, David Super Chat goes, what about the Nolan Smith hit? Oh, that was great. He knocked Mayfield into next week. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It was awesome. CW Gearhead, David Super Chat goes, also Covey freaking impressed me this game. Yeah, we talked about him at the beginning. We made sure we spent some time on him because we have been overly critical of him, and it was good to see him. If he keeps doing that, man, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. So, anyways, we're over an hour in. Joey, anything else, man, before we get out of here? Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think, like I said, this was the most complete game we've had. Some things to figure out, a couple things we just got to fix offensively, and I this is a really good start. I was actually I was a little nervous going into this game offensively. I just kind of waiting for that moment. Is this offense going to get on task? And I think they closed out the game very well. The defense, other than the soft zone coverage at times, I feel like the defensive line is getting better every single week. I don't care if the sack numbers aren't there. They're getting pressures. They're causing quarterbacks to, throw off their back foot or, just cause, inaccuracy at times. And I feel like it's, like I said, it's taking time, but it's all coming together with 2 new coordinators. This is what we didn't expect at the beginning, but this is what we're trying to, move forward with. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. So the Eagles win 25-11 odd score, never in the history of the NFL. Go to 3-0, and they're sitting at first place by themselves because the rest of the division lost, and we got a big game with Washington this week.
Divisional game.
Can't look like past this game. This is a big game. 4-0 would be huge for us. So we got to get that going. There's definitely things to work out, but I think for the most part, the Eagles played better than they have the first 2 weeks. I'm okay with where we're at, and I look forward to getting even better. You know what I mean?
I agree.
All right, well, if that's it, I mean, I guess we'll get out of here. I know you probably got videos to do. I got to go smoke a stogie. That always takes me about an hour to do, so
yeah,
I got to set up outside and stuff. Yeah, guys, if you haven't, make sure you click the link in the description. Go sub up Joey if you're on my channel. Make sure you guys sub. We have still over 1,200 people in the chat. We thank you guys so much. A lot of content coming out tomorrow. I'm going to really piss the Cowboy fans off. They're going to be triggered. I can't wait for it. It's going to be fun. And with that said, man, anything else, Joe, before we go?
That is it. You guys have a good rest of your night. Enjoy it.
Eagles 3-0. Happy birthday to Jennifer.
Yes.
Right. And anybody else's birthday in here, happy birthday to you as well. Jay Green, thank you for Super Chat. Good W. And the unique score called a scoregami. Okay. Interesting. And we will see you guys later. Peace
out.
Oh, wait, we got one more. Alex Davis Super Chat. He goes, finally, Sidney Brown started. Dude's a baller. He is a baller. I love Sidney Brown. Big play on Evans to prevent a touchdown. Thank you for the Super Chat, my man. Peace.
Peace.
We had one.
Yo, you gotta be motherfucking
You
kidding
got to
me.
be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What are you doing?
to get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right.
Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had no time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us.
Way, but, you know, this is just
The brother screwed us.
You know, I'm upset, but
The brother screwed
it is what it
us.
is, man.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way.
We had one opportunity.